So I'm gonna puzzle some shit out here. I went to the gym this morning. First of all, I woke up and my first thought was, I'm not going to the gym today. I was like, on impromptu rest day. That's how I felt. Oh my god. I was like, impromptu rest day. So I slept until 2 and I got ready for work and I was leaving at 3. No, I was leaving by 2. That was it. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll get there with an hour to kill. I don't know why I wanted to. I don't know why I wanted to leave that early, but I did. So I was going to have an hour to kill. And I was like, fine. I'll just work out. So I'm literally about to walk out the door with my backpack and my coat and everything. And I go back and I change into gym clothes and I get my lift in. I had an hour. So I was blitzing through this workout. And it's not really a problem, except that Gym Crush was there at a very odd time of day. He usually works out at night on Wednesdays. That's always has been his cardio date with the girl he's been carrying on with. I don't know if I want to sit at the table right now. So, Wednesday's usually cardio date. But, like I said, I think that might be done. I'm not sure why. But it's just a feeling I have. I think it's done. So anyway, he was working out there way earlier than normal. I'm working out at the same time. And lately, he's been going out of his way to acknowledge me, to say hi, to say what's up, but we're not really speaking like we were. It's more like ever since we put in this boundary, it hasn't really been conversation. It's been, oh hey. And that's pretty much it. Up until recently when he started doing the staring thing again. And that's what's really funny about this. He started doing the staring thing again. And I was like, who are you looking at? Because that hasn't been happening. And I kind of had it in my head that wasn't going to be happening again. But, you know, it was supposed to be 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. You know, it's been happening. But today, he had like all right, I won't call it that. It wasn't that bad. I was about to be dramatic and be like an S tier level freak out, but it wasn't an S tier level freak out. It was a mild pop off. It really wasn't that bad. But this poor kid was doing pull-ups next to us. I was on a pull-up machine over here with resistance, built in, and then he's over here doing free weight pull-ups. And then Gym Crush is over here doing whatever he's doing. And there was moments throughout the day here where we were staring at each other, but not trying to stare at each other, but kind of almost avoiding eye contact as soon as we realized what was happening. And it's not abnormal for us. This has been going on for months. Months of stares across the gym and it going both ways. But then, he doesn't choose me. He carries on with these girls instead. But he singles out this kid that's looking at him. And he's like, what are you staring at? Like, what do you want to kiss? Like, what are you staring at? Why are you looking at me? And it just like goes off on him. And the kid's like, I'm minding my business. I'm just doing what I'm doing over here. And he like lost it a little bit. And I don't know, maybe I've mentioned this before, but everybody stares at him. He's a very attractive guy. And even the straight guys stare at him because he's impressive. What he does is impressive. The exercises that he completes are impressive. And then people like me that are attracted to him, they stare at him because he's very physically attractive and he's impressive. And the girls stare at him because he's attractive. And like, combine all of this, you know, his entire social circle at the gym is just all of these guys between the ages of like 17 and 22 that just idolize him. They all look up to him, and maybe he doesn't see that. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. But he is the center of gravity for the entire gym rat gang. And he's an influencer. He's used to being stared at. He's got, or had, I'm not sure if he still does, a bunch of followers. This isn't new. But the homophobia is new. That kind of reaction is new. Because I know he's not homophobic. He knows that I'm gay. He has been he's been interacting with me in this unspoken way, this connective way, for months. And it was never a problem, but it was never going to be what he did out loud. And I think maybe he's still struggling with that. We've talked about the energy of sexual confusion before, and being pulled, you know, your energy is potent enough to pull people in a direction that maybe they never considered before. It wouldn't be my first time with somebody. I would argue that the majority of the people that I've been with have been either straight or bisexual or some kind of confused, or sometimes they're not attracted to men, but they're attracted to me. So like, it's like an exception. And I don't know, maybe he's struggling with this, but I'm also not really. Today I avoided staring, I avoided contact, I avoided looking at him too long. And maybe he's got something else going on in his world right now where it's just like a built up irritation. Or maybe it's the fact that I'm not engaging with him. Maybe what is it then? If it's not any of that, what is it? What is going on? The Sun and the Ten of Cups. Empress. Justice. Lovers. This is almost giving the energy of like, maybe he's realizing more than he's letting on. Maybe he understands his urges and his psychology better than I give him credit for. I wanted to say it was a struggle or some kind of denial or something like that, but maybe it's not. Maybe this is literally like feeling left out in the cold because the energy is no longer being reciprocated. The energy is no longer being validated because I'm not in chasing energy. Because after he chose like two girls over me, I decided that if he wanted me, I would know. That it would be crystal clear. Because I'm not dealing in ambiguity anymore. And maybe this is about, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do about this in regards to him? I'm getting that things need to play out and a choice needs to be made. But we're supposed to be in Nine of Pentacles energy. There's Ace of Cups here. That's what we split to. And the Strength card below that. This might be one of those situations where we just need to let it play out.